Hey Body Rockers. So we're just getting our tree ready for you. Jess is going to light the star shortly. So you have a beautiful drum roll. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to try to figure out my bunny situation.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a bunny, brand new bunny, and he eats my plants. And we always get a live tree. So like, what do I do?
So I think you just have to face the fact that the bunny is going to eat the tree.
But then he'll have the shits.
Sorry?
He'll have the bunny shits.
Bunny has the shits anyway.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he has, at least
I have been to your house and I see the pebbles.
There's pebbles.
All around.
It's true.
Right.
I have a shitty house.
Clean shit. She does not have a shitty house. She has a beautiful house that the bunny shits in.
It's this brand new bunny. I'm trying to let him like spread his little bunny wings. He's so cute.
And at least you should bring one of those Santa hats home for your bunny.
That will like engulf the bunny. The other day,
true,
my kids had the bunny in a pot the other day. Were you there that day? They had the bunny in a pot. I was like, please take the bunny out of the pot.
Yeah, Fatal Attraction, isn't it?
It is. Well, they were play cooking and then they decided to put the bunny in the pot. Anyways.
It's the wrong season.
Right?
I don't eat rabbit now.
Silly
I don't
rabbit.
eat rabbit ever, but.
Okay, we're going to get right into our how it's done 101. Today we're talking about a neutral spine and the importance of a neutral spine. First and foremost, it's so important to understand that that means something different for everyone. Perfect example, because Jessie has, what is it called?
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
We're going to point that out right now.
Well, I'm just pointing out the fact that your neutral is a little bit different than everyone's neutral. So your functional neutral is the best version of a neutral you can do for yourself. Basically what that means when you're standing from a side view is that the shoulder is stacked directly above the rib cage. The rib cage is floating directly above your hip girdle. Knees and feet are stacked. Now for some of us, it might look a little bit more like a sway back, just fine, as long as you are functioning properly and that you are doing your best to try to stack everything nicely.
What about the neck, Tammy?
Your neck. Good question. Neck is floating right above everything as well. So we don't want to have that posture where your neck is all the way forward or all the way back. It just floats nicely above your shoulders. Why is this important, you ask?
I do ask. Why is this important?
Now, when your spine is in neutral, your core activates 25% more. Like that's a whole shit ton of percentage. That's a huge shit ton. So you want to make sure that your core is fully activated and you're setting yourself up for success. So that neutral spine alone will help activate your core 25% more. And that's how it's done. 101. We're gonna get Jessie on.
Do that again.
Okay, fine.
We can't get this.
Okay. How it's done. 101.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Okay. Now, let's get down to the ground and show them from the top what a neutral spine looks like. So laying on the ground, it's sometimes a little bit easier to find that neutral spine. So take your hands all the way up to the sky and then take the bony aspects of your palm and take it onto your front hips. Okay? Let your fingertips come all the way down to your pubic bone. Don't be shy. So you're forming almost that upside down triangle on the top of your pelvis. Now, you want to try to get that triangle parallel to the ceiling. So if you need to tilt your pelvis a little bit so that that triangle is parallel to the ceiling, go ahead and do so. For most of us, that'll force a little arch in the back. Now, if you feel like you're popping through the rib cage, big exhale, sink those back ribs to the ground, let your shoulders hang down, and that is your neutral. So throughout this workout, throughout this Pilates workout, when I say find your neutral, this is the sensation I want you to come back to, okay? And that's how it's done. 101. Hey there, hey there. Hey there. Hey there,
Hi there, Body Rockers.
Welcome.
It's Tammy and Jessie, and we're going to slow it down today.
We are going to take it down to the ground. For the first time since we started, it's day 3, and we're working on our mobility. So that means we're coming down to the ground for Pilates. It's a little bit different setup today. We're going to move through 25 different movements, holding each movement for about a minute, really focusing on engaging our core. Not
holding a move, but we're
in.
going to be consecutively doing the move for 1 minute.
That's why she's here. That's why she's here. Okay.
Autocorrect.
Autocorrect. Built-in autocorrect. So all of our movements are going to originate from our core. We're going to really focus on using our muscles rather than using momentum. Okay, we're taking it down to the ground. We're both wearing our ankle weights. If you don't have any, that's okay. We just wanted to take it up a notch and add a little sass.
Flare.
Oh, we're going to set the timer. Come all the way down to the ground. Find that neutral spine. A little curve in the lower back. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, I want you to think of pushing your lower back into the ground for a nice big pelvic tilt. Inhale, arch your back all the way away from the ground. Pubic bone points down towards your knees. On the exhale again, we're pivoting. Take your pubic bone to point up towards your knees. So we're just swaying from one extreme to the next, really moving through the pelvic area. If you have any lower back issues, I want you to focus on going just to the point where you feel you need to stop, and then that'll be the range of motion for your body. Otherwise, full range, there should be just a small amount of movement through the upper body. Inhale and exhale. Let me hear you breathe, Jess. Inhale and exhale. So traditional breath work in Pilates is a nice big inhale through the mouth and exhale through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle. Okay, next up, we have tabletop rotations. So that means we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop, knees directly over the hips. Drop those shins so that they're parallel to the ceiling. Okay, and then we're taking both knees over to the left. Inhale and exhale, and over to the right. There we go. So in tabletop, let's get those legs all the way up.
I have to say these ankle weights add some
Resistance. Yeah, definitely. If you have lower back issues and this one doesn't feel quite right with your legs up, listen to your body. Take your feet down to the ground and sway the knees from side to side here. Really focusing on inhaling as we take our knees out to the side. Try to exhale as you pull your knees back to center. So inhale over to the side, big exhale as it comes back through center. Both shoulders stay nice and heavy on the ground. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna stay here in that tabletop position. Keep the 90-degree angle in your leg, and we're gonna tap that right toe all the way down to the ground.
I love
Take
these.
an inhale and exhale to pull it back up. Okay, let's go, Jess. Inhale down.
Are we doing one at a time?
Yeah, we're alternating from side to side. So it's really important here that we focus on when to breathe. So inhale and exhale as you pull that leg back up. Inhale and exhale. We're going to add a little bit more. Pilates is a thinker's exercise. So as you exhale and pull your knee up, I want you to also think of sucking that belly button in just a little bit more. That sensation that you would have if you're trying to button jeans that are just a couple sizes too small.
So this is where I should remember my neutral spine, right, Tammy?
Yes, it is.
Because I feel I want to arc, right? Like the kind of what we want to do in this position is arc our back to make it easier for the tap.
Yeah,
but we
we're
really
not
want to round it out.
Think of anchoring down through those back ribs. Think of pushing them into the ground. Okay, take your feet down to the ground, take your arms out to the side, suction those arm bones deep into the shoulder socket, and just float your arms off the ground slightly with a teeny tiny bend. Then we're gonna take both arms overhead like we're making a big snow angels, and then all the way down, arc them down to the side. Nice big arcs through the arms overhead, inhale, and down. Just over the ground, Jess. Like a snow angel.
I love it. I love it. Can we stay here forever?
I feel like Elsa and Anna.
Yay. You want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman? Inhale and exhale. So two different variations of it here. Inhale and exhale. Almost.
So these are super conscious movements, right? We want to be really aware of what's happening in our body.
Exactly. We're not flaring through the rib cage. I want you to think of those rib cages like saloon doors and keep them closed. So almost push your back ribs down, knit those front ribs together, and keep your core nice and tight. Okay, these are one of my favorites. We're going to walk our feet just a little bit closer to your bum so you can touch on the back of your heels. Shoulders are retracted so you have a nice proud chest, and then push into the heels as we take the hips up for a Pilates bridge. Inhale. That's it. Beautiful. So we're exhaling as we push into the heels. Squeeze your glutes on the way up. Really warming up the glutes and hamstrings. Now at the top of that bridge, pause for just a second. We want a nice long diagonal line, okay? Like a shoot off the top of our body. Inhale, tap your bum down. Big exhale, push all the way up. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale down, exhale up.
So can we hyperextend this too much, or do we push as high as we possibly can? Like,
good question. Really good question. At the top of that movement, we want fully extended hips, but not hyperextended. You should never feel a bridge in your lower back.
It's all glutes, right?
It's glutes and hamstrings, okay, which is really important. Really important. Okay, so we're staying in that bridge, but we're marching. Okay, so come back up to your bridge. Push the back of your arms down into the ground, support your body, and then all the weight goes into your right foot, then we lift our left foot into a march. Okay? We're alternating from side to side. If this is too much for you, we can keep the feet nice and low to the ground, but we're really trying to keep our hips up and minimize the sway from side to side. Push into the back of those arms, a little bit of secondary work for the triceps, and we're marching it out. March, march, march.
So everyone, you should be going at your own tempo. Just make sure you're really paying attention to your body and all those key points that she's mentioning. This is your chance during this mobility class to feel that. Because what we're trying to do is extend the muscles, because once we did strength day, first day, they shrank, they kind of got shortened. Now we're trying to lengthen them.
And really be aware of where the movement's coming from. So now we're coming back up to that bridge. Lift that right leg into tabletop, and then we're opening the right leg to the side of the room. Pull it back to center and lower down. Tap your bum down. Exhale up. Lift to your tabletop. Open. Exhale. Pull it back to center. So there's so many things happening here, I know. Really focus on which muscle is moving your body. So
I see what you're doing.
As we push our legs, her into our bridge, our glutes are working, then we're lifting our legs to tabletop. We're taking that leg out, the outside of the thigh is pulling.
Mama.
Inside of the thigh pulls you back. Okay? How you doing, Jess?
Yeah, I like this.
Ooh, okay, she approves. We got the Jessie stamp of approval. Okay.
Worth nothing, by the way.
Okay, let's extend our legs long. Take your arms out into a T position. Here, this is where we tend to arch our back away from the ground. So what do? Push your back ribs into the ground, float your legs up, all the way, bending at the hips for leg raises. We're gonna lower our legs down. When you start to feel your back arch, that's where I want you to stop and pull your legs back up over your hips. That'll be your range of motion. For some of you, you might be able to get all the way down to the ground without arching your back. For some of you, it might start to arch just at a 35-degree angle. That's okay. That's where we're working. Inhale.
Tammy, what if I'm a new mom? Can I do this?
If you're a new mom, it depends. Great questions, Jess.
See?
If you have diastasis recti, so you will definitely know if you have diastasis recti, your doctor will most likely tell you, then I want you to stay away from this movement. Everyone else, you're good to go. Just really be mindful of engaging through the core. Okay, let's flip it over. Come on. We're coming on to hands and knees for cat and cow. My kids love this one. Hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips. I want you to take a nice big inhale, drop your head around your back, pull the belly button up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take your gaze up, sink your belly, flare your bum. Hi. Inhale, push the ground away from you, feel your shoulder blades move away from each other. Exhale, sink your heart. Arch your back. Breath work is really important. It can either facilitate your movement or hinder it.
I like to call this one no butt.
But.
And then butt.
No but.
No butt.
And then butt. Boom. So if the breath work that we're suggesting feels like it's not helping you move fluidly, switch it up. That's all right. Okay, I'm gonna back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Hands stay below the shoulders, knees below your hips. Before you move, push into your left hand and take all the weight into your right leg. Then extend that right arm forward. If you're nice and steady and your chest is parallel to the ground, slide the opposite leg back, float it just to hip height. Okay? Now we're gonna tap it down. Try not to move through the trunk. Push through the right hand, left knee. Left arm goes up, right leg goes back. Don't hyperextend. It's not about how high you can get that arm and leg. You want a nice long diagonal line from pinky finger to opposite baby toe.
That's a good cue. I remember when I first started doing these, I would try and go high. The idea is to reach forward and backwards.
Yeah, it's your superhero moment. Reaching to opposite ends. I think I can. Don't let go. Don't ever let go. Don't let go. Don't ever let go. She let go. She let go.
Never.
Okay, great work. Okay, so we are going to come all the way down to the ground. Come onto our chest. I want you to take your hands into a field goal position. Roll your shoulders back. And before you move, tuck that pubic bone under, so no bum. Tuck it into the ground. Your legs are nice and active, but we're going to keep them heavy on the ground. And we're just floating our arms and chest up. Inhale down, exhale up. Now, the urge here is always, always, always to push the belly into the ground. I don't want you to push your belly button into the ground. Still think of pulling it up towards the spine. We're going to do that sensation of tucking the bum under by tucking the pubic bone under. Reach your chest forward and then up.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey there.
Peekaboo. I see you. Beautiful. Well done. Okay, we're going to stay in this position. Stack your palms at the top of your mat.
Lay your head down.
Lay your head down. Yeah. Take your forehead to the back of your hands and reach out long through your toes. Your pubic bone's still heavy on the ground. We're still pulling that belly button in and we're floating our legs up and back. And tap your heels together. Tap, 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 tap. I bet you were
For a minute?
Yeah, I bet you're regretting those ankle weights right about now.
Can I get a thicker mat?
How's that pubic bone?
Are there special pubic bone mats I can get?
Probably. If you need a pubic bone buffer, double up that mat. Okay, if you need to come out of it, lower down, take an inhale, exhale, come on back out. Tap, tap, tap. We only have 10 more seconds. How's your pubic?
Hold
Tap
it.
those heels. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Breathe. We're almost there. In and out. Okay, go ahead and slide those hands back next to your heart. Tuck your toes under. Push back into a little baby shell stretch. Walk your hands back in. Okay, so we're coming into all fours. Hands below the shoulders. Now, the tendency here is to sink your heart down to the ground or bend your elbows or lock them out. We want to make sure we're actively pushing the ground away from you so the back of your body is strong, but we have a micro bend in your elbows, especially if you hyperextend.
Micro band.
Micro bend.
Fancy. I like that. I've never heard that.
Pushing evenly into both hands. We're going to take the leg up to the side. So day one, we did a lot of territory marking. We're going to mark our territory. Okay? Tap. Lift and lower.
Are we staying on this side for the minute?
We're going to stay on this side for 30 seconds and then switch. Which is right about now because we talk so damn much.
Yeah.
Chatty.
Some of us do.
We're chatty catties. Chatty, chatty, chatty. Keep
So
going.
I find with the hydrant, I always want my chest drop down.
Push into
Remember
both
that
palms.
micro bend. Yeah.
Yeah, just a teeny tiny micro bend.
And
gaze
grip
down
the
at
ground,
the mat.
right?
Yeah. And it's not about how high you can get that leg. It's just about activating that side bum, the glute med. Okay? So opening up the hips to the ground. Almost there. I think we messed up our timer, but we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So let's come all the way up to our knees. We're going to find our neutral in kneeling. What does that mean, you ask? It means that even on our knees are hip distance apart, our hips are over our knees, and your rib cage, shoulders, and head is floating in space. Take your hands all the way up, hands behind the head. You notice how I pop through the chest a little bit there? Knit those ribs together. Take an inhale. Reach tall through the top of your head and exhale as we bend over to the right side. Focus on flaring the left rib cage. Take an inhale here. Exhale, pull your body back up all the way over to the left. So when we do side bends, we tend to focus more on contracting through the side of the body that we're bending on. No, no, no. I want you to think of flaring your rib cage, okay? So think of fanning open the rib cage on the opposite side of the body. And as you pull up, imagine that everything was paralyzed except for your core. So all of the brunt of the work is on the core to pull your body all the way back up. Okay, this is safe for postpartum. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes.
I think it's Santa calling, honestly.
Santa?
We're supposed to get a call later.
From Santa.
Santa, I heard.
Like the real guy with the beard.
That's
and the
what I
belly.
heard. I'm just saying.
And the reindeer.
That's what I heard.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, kneeling side bends. So now we're gonna go into seated squat. I want you to walk your knees just a little bit wider than neutral. You can bring your toes together at the back of your body, and we're gonna drop down nice and low. Okay, from here, nice big exhale, push into the tops of your feet to come all the way up. Squeeze that bum. Woo! Inhale and exhale. You wanna add a little fun to it?
I do, obviously.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we're gonna come down low, tick, tock.
Yeah.
Tick, tock.
Wait, are we staying at TikTok?
Yeah, tick, tock. All the way down and then all the way up.
Oh, I see. It's a moving TikTok.
All the way down and all the way up. Do you feel that burn?
Yes. And I love it.
It is perfect. Okay, from here we're gonna go into arm circles. So all the way up on our knees. Take your arms out to the side. Go ahead and suction your arms nice and deep into your shoulder socket.
What does that mean?
So we're pulling our arms into the socket.
Roll it back, tuck
Roll
it
it
in.
back. Don't flare through the rib cage. Teeny tiny circles back. Breathe. Now, don't flare the rib cage. And even though we're not working on our core, I want you to still be mindful. Think of pulling your belly button in. The whole body's active here. Teeny tiny circles. We're going to keep going backwards for another 3, 2, and 1. Switch directions.
Are we having do we have a micro bend here?
I have a micro bend here. You never want to lock out completely. You like that word? Micro. Micro. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, now we are going to come all the way up. We need our pink thingies. Where are our pink thingies? We're not using our pink thingies?
No pink thingies.
Okay, feet are hip distance apart, shoulders back. We're gonna start with our palms on our thighs, and then we're floating the arms up to shoulder height. Inhale down, exhale up. If you have your pink thingies at home, because clearly we don't, I want you to add them on this one, okay? Now, here's where the resistance comes in. Imagine, if you will, that your arms weigh 20 or 30 pounds. And as you pull them up, you're using just your arms to get you there. Your core is tight.
Or shoulders,
Inhale.
maybe?
Shoulders are back. Breathe in and out. Nice. Up and down.
Sit 3 seconds. Keep it up.
Beautiful. Okay, flip your palms, shoulders back. We're going to come into a bicep curl, and then we're pushing all the way up towards the ceiling. Again, imagine that you're holding 20, 30, 40 pounds. Shoulders stay back, chest stays proud. Big exhale, curl it in. Flip your palms all the way up. And all the way up. If you make a fist, you can imagine the fist weighs 20 pounds. Creating your own resistance. Imagine you're moving your hands through thick air. Dense, dense air or mud. All the way up. Nice work.
So mobility is about range of motion. We want to try and get you guys as far and as wide and as high and as stretched as possible.
Like Gumby, like Gumby.
That's it. We should call it Gumby Day.
Gumby day. Okay, so now we're gonna bring our squat game on. This is the sumo squat. What does that mean? We're gonna find our sumo stance. Toes pointing out to the side of the room, knees in the same direction as your toes. I like to say, think of your toes as little arrows, and then your knees are just following the arrows. Your knees are really good at following instructions. We're dropping down.
And if they're not, you should see a doctor.
Yeah.
Or a physiotherapist.
And you can also take your hands to the inside of your knees just as a reminder that you want them to go that way. Chest stays up, and instead of moving forward and back, we're really focusing on dropping down and up. Okay, down and up.
You might
Inhale.
feel some tightness in your lower back, and that just has to do with, again, mobility, because we're at that 45-degree angle. The squat is more difficult because we're still trying to bring that tailbone down. So don't worry about the depth. Just get to a position of discomfort, but not pain.
Okay, next up, we have our inchworm. So from the back of your mat, from here, I want you to think of articulating the body down. So let your head tilt in towards your chest. Let the weight of your head pull all the way down on your shoulders till you roll all the way forward. We're walking our hands all the way out to your high plank, just below your shoulders. Then push into that palm to walk all the way back. Okay, from here, pull your belly button and roll all the way up. Okay, so from the top, not the chin to chest, let the weight of your head, weight of your chest, weight of your back, weight of your torso, roll your body down as you walk it out. And then push through the palms to come all the way back in as you curl all the way up. There we go. Nod your chin.
So to get to the bottom, some people might need to bend their knees, right?
Yeah, some people might need to bend their knees. You need to listen to your body wherever you are in space. Okay, let's drop our knees. We're going to come onto the ground for ab curls. Last little bit here. So your feet are on the ground, knees are bent. Find your neutral spine. Again, remember that little curve in the lower back. Your hips are parallel to the ceiling. Hands come behind the head. You take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, I want you to curl up just to the base of those back body ribs. Feel the contraction through the abdominal. Inhale down, big exhale. So we're thinking of shortening the space between the floating ribs and your hip bone. Inhale down, exhale up. We got another 15 seconds, and we're forcing that exhale up as we curl up.
You want the gaze to be up. I always say pick a spot on the ceiling because you don't want to roll at the top of your spine.
Exactly.
Remain neutral and just think about lifting your shoulders. I find that's a good cue. Instead of thinking about rolling the top of your spine and lifting your head, you want to focus on lifting the shoulders higher to the ground. And then consequently, this will shorten.
You want your grip on your neck to be nice and light, so we're not pulling on your neck at all. We're actually using the abdominal muscles to pull us up. The shortening of those muscles is what gets you off the ground. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now for butterflies, let's go ahead and bring our knees together, bring the soles of our feet together. Let your knees fall out to the side of the room. Right here, this one feels so good. Okay, so we're going to take our hands back behind our head. Again, nice light grip on the elbows. Really think of keeping your elbows nice and wide for this whole movement. And then we're exhaling as we curl up. You want to maintain a nice long neck. And at the top of that movement, like Jessie said, when you curl up, you should always be looking at where the ceiling and the wall connects. Inhale up, looking at the ceiling directly above you. Exhale as you curl up, wall and ceiling, that little crack in the corner of your room. Inhale and exhale.
And when you come down, when you drop down your shoulders, you want to make sure that you're maintaining neutral position, which means that your back isn't hyperextended or full overarched. So you really want to, that's going to keep that core engaged the entire time.
Almost there, we're almost there. And our favorite time is coming out. We're going to clamp out. So clammy. Keep pulling that lower belly in. This one's great for postpartum. Really think of pulling the belly button to spine. That sensation of taking old jeans. You ready for it, Jessie?
I'm ready. Last one.
So we're going to flip on to the side for clams. I want you to take your arm nice and long, bring your ear down to your bicep, and then we're hugging our knees close. So 90-degree angle at the hip crease, 90-degree angle at the back of your knee. We're going to glue our heels together and just lift.
What's my head doing, Tammy?
We're doing the right side up. But your knees are lifting and lowering. Try to keep your heels glued together.
I see.
There we go. Hips stay nicely stacked, one on top of the other. Try not to let that lower rib cage sink down to the ground. So we still have that nice long line through our spine. As we open and close, really activating that side bum.
Do lots of people find that they have more mobility on one side than the other?
Yes, that's so normal. Or you tuck and roll, flip it over to the other side. Depending on like your behavior patterns, you might spend a lot of time leaning into one side of your body over the other. So it's really nice to be aware of these differences when they happen. So 90-degree angle, heels together, just the knee opens and closes. Now at the top of that movement, I want you to check in, make sure your hips still stack directly on top of the other hip. Sometimes we open up way too big because we always tend to think bigger means better, means more, not necessarily. At the top of that movement, don't be a size queen. At the top of that movement, we want to make sure our hips are still stacked. We should feel the work in that outside of the side bump. This is a great place to add in the core bands if you like to. If you have them at home, inhale and exhale. This is the home stretch. It's the final countdown. Woo. And one.
Nice.
All right, let's come on up. Great work. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know
That was good.
A little bit slower tempo, but it really just reinforces where our movement should come from and how our body should work for us. You'll feel good today, and I hope you feel even better tomorrow. That was day 3.
Day 3. I hope you guys are making it. You're coming to see us every day, clicking on and doing as much as you possibly can, because it's super important. The habit is more, I'd say that's more challenging, just like making a habit. Yeah. And just showing up every day. What are these 20, 25-minute workouts? You guys can do this. Take time to yourself. Wake up a little bit earlier. Take a lunch. Just say no to your kids if you need to.
Earn that lunch. Let's
Earn the lunch. Yeah.
Earn your lunch.
Totally. But mobility day, we should definitely, don't forget that one. A lot of people, you know, they come to classes and they like kick their own ass and then they won't stretch and then they ask why they're injured. You got to show up for mobility day.
Yeah.
Okay,
How it
stretch.
comes from your ability to move into those, in and out of those movements properly. Okay? No momentum. Use your muscles. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. When's Santa calling?
I don't know, he's late actually.
Santa!
Santa?
I think